All right. Good morning and welcome to Norcal APEX Accelerator's webinar, How to Do Business with GSA. My name is Amanda Anderson. I'm the program coordinator for Norcal APEX Accelerator. And today I'm joined by Lori Falkenstrom, small business specialist for GSA, and Anthony Caruso, the senior small business specialist for GSA. But before I pass it off to them for all of the meat and potatoes of the presentation, I do want to let you know a little bit about Norcal APEX Accelerator and how we can help you with government contracting. So the APEX Accelerator program is a federally mandated nationwide network of government contracting centers that are here to help you at absolutely no cost. So no matter where you're coming to us from, if you're in California or all the way over in New York, there is an APEX Accelerator near you where you can sign up for services and get absolutely free counseling on government procurement topics. Anything from your initial registrations and certifications to helping you maintain compliance once you win that first contract. And the best part is we are absolutely no cost. At no point in time will we ever ask you for any kind of payment information. And that's because we're funded through grants from federal, state, and local governments, because the government wants to do business with you. And so they have us to help you do so. But what exactly does that assistance look like? Well, at Norcal APEX Accelerator, we're able to offer our government contracting assistance through three main pillars. First, our one-on-one counseling. And this is where once you sign up with us as a client, and that means you do have to be within our Northern California service area. But once you are a client, you can sit down with a procurement specialist for a one-on-one meeting where you can go over your specific hiccups and hurdles, or maybe tricky registrations, or maybe review a solicitation that you can't quite understand all the jargon of. And that counselor is here to help you on those specific items at your call. So you can schedule appointments with them maybe once a month, maybe twice a year, depending on your experience and how well you can get a handle for this. But the main thing is that counselor is always going to be in your corner. It's always going to be just a phone call or an email away. So our second pillar is actually part of counseling, and this is our custom bid matching program. And this is something that our counselors usually set up with their clients immediately, because what this does is this is a software that scans federal, state, and local procurement sites for relevant opportunities and solicitations to you, specifically to you. And how they do that is by setting down a criteria for the relevance of these solicitations. So say you can only perform your services in one geographic location. This software will know that and send you solicitations just for that geographic location. Or maybe your product's a little niche, a little new, and maybe that in itself is the criteria that you're looking for in these solicitations. So once you get in with counseling, your counselor will help you really fine tune these criteria, fine tune what you're looking for in solicitations. And then this software will send you relevant solicitations directly to your inbox. So those are some absolutely fantastic opportunities for assistance that we can offer. But our final one, which you're actually taking advantage of now, is our resources and training. We put on webinars and in-person events throughout the year on varying topics such as doing business with GSA, or maybe how to work on your business pitch for when you're at those networking conferences. Or maybe you're just looking to get all of your certifications and you don't even know where to start. That's where a lot of our resources and trainings can come into play. So not only do we have webinars and in-person events throughout the year, we also maintain a robust website with links and resources that can be of absolute value to you, even if you aren't in our service area. And that's why this final pillar of resources and trainings is my favorite, because it's not limited by service area. No matter where you are in the US, you can always join our webinars and you can always check out our website to utilize those resources. But if you are outside of our service area, do remember we are a nationwide network, and there absolutely is an Apex Accelerator near you that can help you with government contracting at absolutely no cost. So if you would like to, please feel free to check out your local Apex Accelerator or check us out if you're within our Northern California service area. We would love to assist you with government contracting. So with that, I do want to mention a small disclosure. The information provided herein is accurate to the best of the presenter's ability at the time of this presentation. It is August 13th, 2024. Some or all of the provisions mentioned herein could or may be changed by the current administration, with or without prior notice. So with that out of the way, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Lori.
Okay, well, thank you so very much, Amanda, and hello, everyone. Again, my name is Lori Falkenstrom, and my co-presenter for today is my awesome colleague, Anthony Caruso, and we are delighted to be here and appreciate you joining us today. We would also like to thank our host and friends at Apex for the invitation to talk about doing business with GSA. I am going to jump off camera so we can stay focused on the slides. And so if you can go to the next slide, that would be great. Okay, thank you so very much. Here's a list of topics we will cover today, and we'll start with an agency overview so you get to know us as a potential customer and federal agency. And we will also discuss the GSA multiple award schedules, also known as MAS, and we'll end with small business resources. And as a reminder, you will receive a copy of the slides today. Thank you. Next slide. GSA is a federal civilian agency, and our mission is to deliver and value and savings in real estate, acquisition, technology, and other mission support services across the federal government. GSA provides workplaces by constructing, managing, preserving government buildings, leasing, and managing commercial real estate. And we are one of the federal government's largest buyers and contracts for billions of dollars worth of products and services for other federal civilian agencies and DoD customers worldwide. And GSA's policies promote management best practices and efficient government operations. So what does this mean to a small business? Well, GSA serves the same customer agencies you are looking to market directly to. So if you're interested in selling to the federal government, we recommend exploring what GSA has to offer. Next slide, please. Now, GSA is made up of two components which offer contract opportunities. We have our Public Building Service, also known as PBS, and our Federal Acquisition Services, also known as FADS. We'll go ahead and start with PBS. GSA and PBS lead the way in green building design, construction, retrofit, sustainable operations, and maintenance. And GSA is considered the government's landlord, and as you can see, PBS owns or leases over 8,000 assets, and GSA maintains an inventory of more than 370 million square feet of workspace for 1.1 million federal employees and preserves more than 500 historic properties. I would just like to take this time to share that if you have any past performance on projects where the property itself was a historic property, then certainly make note of that when you are marketing yourself to GSA. And if you offer services in construction, maintenance, building operations, leasing, or other related construction services, we recommend that you start by visiting GSA's PBS website. Next slide, please. Now, this slide shows our Federal Acquisition Services, also known as FAS. FAS offers access to a wide variety of contract opportunities. Their contract vehicles offer billions of dollars worth of products and services and facilities that federal agencies need to serve the public. There is always an open solicitation available for you to become an industry partner, helping GSA supply federal agencies with high quality products and services. And as you can see, here's a short list of the products and services procured through FAS. Please visit the FAS website for more information. We also wanted to just quickly mention one last FAS service. So not only does GSA procure, but we also auction off real estate, furniture, computers, vehicles, etc. And we've provided our GSA auctions website listed below as well. Next slide, please. Now, we work in the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization, also known as OSDBU, and we are your small business advocates. We oversee the small business programs. We provide counseling to small businesses on how to do business with GSA. We promote increased access to GSA's nationwide procurement opportunities by working with our acquisition workforce, and we monitor and implement small business policies and manage a range of programs mandated by law. Next slide, please. Now, small businesses are our top priority, and we advocate for all of the social economic categories you see listed here. We also work with our contracting leadership to help increase small business participation in our acquisitions. For example, we host and work with PBS to host a coffee break with small businesses, and this is done virtually and is a 30-minute meeting. And the small business provides a 10 to 15-minute capability briefing, followed by Q&A with our contracting staff. And there have been some really great connections made, and we are sure to have some success stories in the very near future. If you are in NAICS code 236220 and interested in participating, please send us an email, and our contact information will be on the last slide. We will discuss subcontracting and forecasting contract opportunities in upcoming slides, and our office is referred to as the front door for small businesses looking to do business with GSA. If you are not sure where to start, you can reach out to our office. We'll help get you started, or you can reach out to your local APEX office, and they can provide help with responding to our solicitations, in addition to numerous other services. Next slide. Now, we recommend you visit our website so you can get to know more about our office and other small business information. The map that you see here shows the 11 regions. We are located in Region 9, which is the Pacific Rim region. We cover all of California, Nevada, Arizona, and Hawaii. The map will help you identify the other states each region covers. Please feel free to reach out to your local GSA small business specialist in any region that you're looking to do business with GSA. Next slide, please. Now, here's a partial list of our GSA small business specialists across the country. Please reach out as you're looking for opportunities in any of these states. The direct link is listed below. Next slide. Our office also puts together fact sheets, which will help you find opportunities and navigate the federal marketplace. One example, our fact sheet on how to respond to pre-award notices. This will help guide you and provide tips and best practices for responding to requests for information, also known as RFIs, requests for proposals, also known as RFPs, and sources sought notices. And we have other topics, including marketing to the federal government, how to generate reports that will help you identify how much agencies are spending and what they are buying. Next slide, please. We also recommend you sign up for GSA Interact. It's a great platform to keep up with current information regarding GSA's programs and contract vehicles. You can also look up on YouTube our past GSA videos covering a wide variety of topics, including GSA's multiple award schedules. If you are looking for training specific to small business, check out gsa.gov/smallbiztraining. And last but not least, check out GSA's events and training page. You can view past events and filter by various categories, such as companies seeking government contracts. Next slide, please. Okay, the next few slides, we're going to go ahead and just quickly cover minimum requirements and the other topics that you see listed here. And this is more related to finding business or contracting opportunities. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. Now, if you want to do business with GSA or any other federal agency, there are minimum requirements you must meet, which includes signing up in various databases. You'll have to obtain a unique entity identifier, UEI, through SAM.gov entity registration process. UEI replace the DUNS number for those of you who may be more familiar with the DUNS number and haven't registered in SAM.gov. If you are already in SAM, you'll notice that you will receive a newly assigned UEI, and your DUNS number will be used for historical information. Please update your capability statements to include your UEI. We are still finding that some of the capability statements that we're receiving still have the DUNS number on it. And so for more information, please visit the website that you see listed. And again, it all ties in with sam.gov, and you must register there. And that website stands for System for Award Management. And again, this system ties into how the federal government and potential small business teaming partners will find your company by completing your company profile. So definitely register in sam.gov. And if you are new to just the federal government, please also register and identify your NAICS code. It's not actually a registration process, but you will be able to go to the census.gov/NAICS. And this actually identifies your industry. So please make sure that you identify your NAICS code, and you can have more than one NAICS code. And it's really important that you provide this information and identify this information for your company. Again, it identifies your business category. So please make sure that you do that by visiting the website. You also have the SBA website, which will help you identify the various business categories, social economic categories. So it's important to identify what you're eligible for. If you're a hub zone, 8A, woman-owned, or service-disabled veteran-owned business, there will be opportunities, especially for each category, and having these will allow you to pursue specific social economic set-aside opportunities. And there's definitely a lot of research to do during this stage of the process. So we recommend you work with your APEX accelerators. They will walk you through this process, and it is critical to update the SAM with the correct NAICS code. So again, make sure that you have identified your NAICS code, make sure that you have identified your size of business as well. This is also going to play a role on whether you actually qualify for any of the small business benefits and programs. And again, register under sam.gov. So please do all these things. It is a minimum requirement before doing business with the federal government. Next slide, please. So if you're looking for federal contract opportunities, please visit sam.gov. It is the government point of entry for federal agencies to post special notices such as events, requests for information, pre-bid conferences and sources sought notices. And you'll also find synopsis and solicitations as well. And again, this site continues to grow and has consolidated numerous other sites, which includes, as you can see, Department of Labor wage determinations and the contract data reports, which has moved from Federal Procurement Data System, also known as FPDS. So if you're new to SAM.gov, just please check out their Learning Center for guidance, or you can contact your local APEX Accelerator. Next slide, please. Okay, so this slide will help you identify potential contract opportunities with GSA and other federal agencies that you see listed here. Please spend some time on this website. All government agencies maintain a forecast of contract opportunities website, and all of these forecasts are found at the acquisition.gov link on this slide. And we're required to post all future or expected requirements over $25,000 for supplies and services on our forecast site, Acquisition Gateway. The forecast tool provides information on planned federal contracting opportunities and assists with acquisition planning by helping vendors learn about potential prime contracting opportunities early in the process. But not all of these requirements listed in the forecast will be awarded. They're uploaded to give contractors an overview of what should be coming out from an agency. You can easily filter the data by agency, location, place of performance, NAICS code, contract type, and more. A quick link was developed for the forecasting site, which is www.fbf.gov. And there are also two other links that we have listed here that will take you to the GSA forecast sites. And as I mentioned earlier, it'll also take you to the website, which will list all the federal agencies' forecast sites. So please include these forecast sites in your government market research. Next slide, please. So we're just going to quickly talk about what is a sources sought notice and just provide you some tips and a little bit of information. When federal agencies are looking to identify an acquisition strategy, we conduct a market research. And another way to conduct market research is by posting a sources sought notice. And these notices are posted on sam.gov, and the results of these notices will help form the contracting officer's determination to set aside altogether or determine if they can set aside using a social economic category such as 8A set aside, hub zone, woman owned, or service disabled veteran owned set asides. And these sources sought notices help us document our findings and supports us if a solicitation will go full and open or be set aside. So full and open means it will be open to both other than small business or small businesses. And with enough responses from small businesses, a sources sought can determine if a solicitation is set aside or not. So why respond to a sources sought notice? As I mentioned, GSA, to determine if we can set aside an opportunity for small business when we receive 2 or more responses from small businesses who are capable of performing the product or service, we can successfully set aside the contract opportunity. I'm often asked, what's the difference between the sources sought notice and request for information? A sources sought notice is to determine can perform the work required, while a request for information, that purpose is to collect written information about the capabilities of various suppliers. So please respond to both if you can. Now, this slide also provides a couple of tips regarding your response to a sources sought notice. You want to ensure your response is aligned with the requirements listed in the notice. Overall, just make sure that your response demonstrates your capabilities and expresses your knowledge and experience. And please make sure that your past performance is relevant, recent, and cite contracts your company has performed which involve the same or similar scope of work. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, if you're interested in subcontracting, please visit our GSA subcontracting website. When a large business receives a federal contract over $750,000 for products and services, or $1.5 million for construction contracts, they may have potential subcontracting opportunities. You can utilize our GSA subcontracting directory and filter your search by either the contractor's name, the NAICS, or the state. You can also find primes at GSA's eLibrary website, and you don't have to hold a GSA mass contract. We recommend that you visit both websites to do further research. Next slide, please. Please also check out SBA's subnet. You can view potential opportunities by the large prime contractors. You can choose a location from the subnet map, and it will provide you with a list of opportunities by location, closing date, point of contact, the description of the opportunity, and so much more. We are really actually, communicating with our prime contractors that this is a website where they can notify subcontractors about opportunities with their firm. So you should see a lot more posting and opportunities there at the SBA subnet. Next slide, please. Now, this is an important update to Section 889, Part B, which applies to contractors' use of covered telecommunications equipment. This guidance will be added to all contracts to comply with national security and intellectual property threats, and establishes prohibited acquisition sources for both government and contractors. Now, this change was effective August 13th, 2020. Contractors must not use prohibited equipment, systems, services that use any covered telecommunications equipment or services as a substantial or essential component of any system unless you've been granted a waiver. And Section 889 applies to all contracts and other award types, not just FAR-based contracts. GSA's deviation also applies this policy to GSA's lease acquisitions. Next slide, please. The ban is about the presence and the use of telecommunications equipment and services, no matter the industry sector. Part A included the listed sources, equipment, and or services provided to the government. And Part B includes any equipment or services used by contractors. So again, Part B of the ban applies to every sector, which includes automotive, building services, construction, general supplies and services, healthcare, information technology, leasing, professional services, etc. So no matter what your company makes or sells, any technology your company uses must be checked to ensure that it does not include banned components. You can check out the information here just to make sure that you're in compliance. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Anthony now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lori. Okay, let's dive into the GSA's multiple award schedule mass program. We have condensed a lot of information down into this brief presentation. The goal is to give you an overview of GSA's mass programs, minimum requirements, where to start, how to submit an offer, and some general information. GSA mass stands for the multiple award schedules. These are long-term government contracts with commercial companies that provide access to millions of commercial products and services at fair and reasonable prices to the government. The schedule makes buying easy and efficient and connects government buyers and industry partners. Here's another reason why it may be worth looking into to obtain a GSA mass contract. It generates between 40 to 50 billion dollars in sales per year. There's an echo when I'm speaking? Huh. I'm not sure why that'd be. Hmm.
It actually sounded a little bit better when you called it out.
I'm not sure why that'd be. How about now?
You're sounding a lot better now.
Huh. I've never had the issue before.
Zoom just likes to be weird every once in a while.
So, okay. So we're good now?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Um, so yeah, the GSA multiple award schedule about 40 to 50 billion dollars in sales each fiscal year. And once you obtain a GSA mass contract, you can market directly to our customer agencies, which includes federal, state, and local government agencies and other organizations. So basically, once you get on the GSA schedules or the multiple award schedules, you also will be able to be on CMAS, the California Multiple Award Schedule, with a change of a cover letter, and you can send it to CMAS, or you can piggyback off someone else's schedule for CMAS. Um, and to get started, please visit the GSA Mass Roadmap website, which is listed below here. Next slide, please. Our mass contracts are publicized by a standing consolidated solicitation, which is posted on sam.gov under the contract opportunities section. We have a slide coming up with that direct link. The mass contracts are 5 years with 3 5-year options, essentially making it a 20-year contract. There are multiple award IDIQs, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts. There are over 19,000 scheduled contractors currently on schedule, and 80% of these are small businesses. The checklist on the right shows you that the GSA Mass is not a certification, nor does it guarantee you sales. It is not mandatory in order for you to do business with the federal government. It is also not used for companies who are in construction under NAICS 236220, and it is not mandatory for other agencies to use. However, like we said, about a little over 50 billion was done off the GSA multiple award schedules last fiscal year. That's a good chunk of change you're missing out on if you're not on schedule. Next slide, please. So this slide shows you a list of some of our customers, which includes DoD and all the federal civilian agencies, state and local agencies, as well as tribal entities. One of the largest ways we reach our customers is through our GSA Mass and other IDIQ contracts. This is really what makes GSA so special and what sets us apart from other federal agencies. GSA's mission is to ensure that agencies can focus on their mission. Next slide, please. So the GSA Mass is broken into 12 large categories. There are subcategories that fall under that large category, and the subcategories are directly related to your NAICS codes. As you can see, the 12 large categories are listed here. The miscellaneous category is my favorite. It's the stuff that did not fit into anything else, but is complementary to the other categories. Next slide, please. Here is a sample of a large category, which is furniture and furnishings, and the subcategories within this larger categories. Again, the SINs are directly related to your NAICS now. Next slide, please. Our mass program also promotes small business utilization
by using set-asides. Total small business set-asides at the schedules level includes the services you see listed here. All of these contracts were awarded to small businesses. Next slide, please. So you can utilize your market research based on the data you have researched and see if the return on investment is there for you when pursuing a GSA mass contract. This is a commitment, and you want to ensure that the program is the best fit for your company. And you can work with your local Apex to help you in that research. Remember, you have to do 100,000 in the first 5 years you're on schedule, and each subsequent 5-year period, you have to do 125,000. So it's imperative you're in place to really utilize your multiple award schedule contracts. So don't just get on the schedules or multiple award schedules and have no return on investment. Next slide, please. Here's a snapshot of some of the products and services that we provide to our government customers. If you would like to see a full list of what GSA buys, please visit our GSA e-library website, which is listed below. You can also do a search by NAICS. If you see special item numbers, also known as SINs, the SIN number now follows the NAICS code's numbering methodology. The e-library is also a great place to check out the competition. You can view and see the current GSA mass contract holders and view their pricing as well. Next slide, please. As mentioned, you can do the research using the GSA e-library website. And remember, a picture is worth a million words, so there's the snapshot of it. And if you're selling a product or service under the mass contract program, in the search engine, you can put the service or product you provide, your NAICS or SIN number, and you'll be able to see everyone who is currently on schedule, what their price list looks like, the terms and conditions of their contract, where they're located, their socioeconomic indicator. So if they're small, woman-owned, service-stable, veteran-owned company, all of that information is at your fingertips, so you don't have to recreate the wheel. You can take a look at someone who offers similar products, similar services to what you provide, and take it and then utilize it for your own. Not saying you copy it, but you can definitely manipulate it and utilize it. So again, you're not recreating the wheel. Next slide, please. So the scheduled sales query, or the SSQ Plus, is a great way to determine how the current mass contract holders are making on their mass, how much they are making on their mass contracts. And if you want to see how much you could potentially make as a mass contract holder, please check out the scheduled sales query. It's really a useful website, helps you do specific market research regarding the GSA multiple award schedules. And it behooves you to become familiar with it, so you can really do that research on the front end, so you're not wasting time on the back end. Is this right for my company? Are the customer agencies that I'm targeting utilizing the multiple award schedule? How much are they utilizing it? Really delve into it, because again, it takes about 9 months to a year, cradle to grave, to get on the GSA multiple award schedule. That's a lot of man and women hours to get on schedule. So you want to make sure that return on investment's really there for you. Next slide, please. I'd now like to share some information about the Startup Springboard program and the Fastlane program. Difference between the two is Fastlane only applies to the information technology categories, also known as ITC. The Startup Springboard applies to all mass categories and is geared towards companies that do not meet the solicitation requirements of having 2 years of corporate experience or financial statements. If your company cannot provide 2 years of statements, the Startup Springboard program allows you to leverage the work and project experience of your executives and key personnel. You can provide financial documentation in lieu of the required 2 years of statements to demonstrate your company's financial responsibility. You can find the instructions and information at the Mass Roadmap website and follow the instructions listed here to view the information regarding the Startup Springboard program. As for the FastLane program, the expedited review time is for the benefit of the federal customer. If your customer has an IT need, they will have to submit a request to GSA asking you to participate in the FastLane review in order to help that agency meet its IT needs. This is for new offers or current mass holders submitting an e-mod. If you fall under the ITC, you should be eligible for FastLane. No other categories are currently eligible. You must complete and submit the FastLane eligibility checklist as part of your e-offer or e-mod package. You can get the instructions and information at gsa.gov/FastLane. Next slide, please. Again, please ensure, Lori went over this in some part, to be able to register with sam.gov. And when you electronically submit your offer through GSA e-offer, it will pull your information from sam.gov. So it's important to make sure your information is always up to date with your most current contact information and NAICS codes. Next slide, please. You also have to complete 2 training modules, which are Pathways to Success and the Readiness Assessment Toolbox. And again, you can find them at gsa.gov/mass roadmap. If you decide to get on the multiple award schedules, you're really going to want to have bookmarked that gsa.gov/mass roadmap website. It really has everything you'll need, walks you through the entire process, has every link URL you will need when going through the multiple award schedule process, and gives you in detail information regarding the process, from all the templates, and it gives a description of each one for you. Next slide, please. And again, as I mentioned, the GSA Mass Roadmap takes you through the entire process, provides you with the steps, formats, templates, instructions on preparation and submission. Try to make it as easy as possible, as transparent as possible, so that you really can you can't get on the multiple award schedule on your own. You don't need to hire a third-party consultant. You can utilize the Apex accelerators. You can utilize the SBDCs, and they can help you through the process. But everything is contained in this Mass Roadmap website. All the templates, all the instructions. If you want to download the paper-based application to get on schedule, which I highly recommend, so you become familiar with the solicitation, all the terms and conditions of the contract. Print it out. I always like to say, put it in a binder, put it on your nightstand. I like to call it your nighttime reading, because I guarantee it'll put you to sleep every night. But you want to be familiar with what you're getting your company into. Remember, it's a 5-year contract with 3 5-year options, essentially making it a 20-year contract. Become familiar how to maximize that return on investment, utilizing the multiple award schedules. Next slide, please. And again, this is where you'll be able to download that paper-based application, the mass solicitation, and show you understand the language. Remember, it really is a foreign language government contracting. You want to be familiar with the FAR, the Federal Acquisition Regulations, the GSAM, the General Services Acquisition Manual. Become familiar with the terms and conditions that you are responsible for, so you know how to do modifications. If you want to add products, if you want to change your pricing, it really behooves you. It is a business decision on your part to get on the multiple award schedule, and it does take quite a bit of time and effort, but you want to position yourself in the best place to be successful. Next slide, please. In order to submit your GSA Mass offer, you will go to eoffer.gsa.gov. There you will find the steps you will need to complete, and I've highlighted 2 places to start. We recommend viewing the Before You Begin, located under the Contract Offers box. I also recommend clicking e-offer, listed under the section Learn More About. You will find instructions on the steps you need to complete. For example, you will have to complete the authentication process. I always have trouble with that word. At one time, we used to use digital certs, which is no longer the case. And you will have to use what is called Fast ID credentials to access eOffer. The Fast ID system allows contractors to access many GSA applications with one email and password. Follow the instructions on the eOffer homepage to register for your Fast ID. So this is the site where you complete the offer, submit the offer, and includes the contract award process. And again, to use it, a lot of this is explained. A lot of the URLs are also on the Mass Roadmap website. Next slide, please. So let's now take a look at some of the items you will need to complete and submit if your offer is being prepared and submitted. If you are using a third party, you will need to complete and sign an agent authorization letter, although you can do the schedules, multiple word schedules on your own. No one knows your company better than you. You will also need to upload your training certificates to eOffer for both the readiness assessment and pathways to success. Please note that your certificates must be dated within the last 12 months that you are applying to get on schedule. So please ensure that when you take the training, that you are ready to go through with the entire process, as that's when the clock starts. As for the past performance, you can either use a minimum of 3 past performance evaluation questionnaires, and GSA will provide the template. This is filled out by the customer who is giving you the evaluation and not by the offerer itself. And we are looking for relevant work performed. You can also include a past performance narrative. This narrative must outline the work performed that is relevant to the category that you are interested in, offering products and services. If you can submit the contractor's performance assessment reporting system, also known as CPARS, you must have a minimum of 3 CPARS reports, and these are filed by previous federal customer agencies. Now let's move on to subcontracting plans. This is only for large businesses. So if you're other than small, you are required to submit a subcontracting plan for if the estimated contract value exceeds $750,000. Next slide, please. The commercial sales practice format is a template document and outlines commercial sales prices specifically and consists of projected sales. You should provide sales for each SIN and NAICS you are applying for under the schedule. The document will ask about any written discount policies and if they are better than or equal to the prices being offered to the government. So we want your most favored customer price. You will also have to provide 2 prior years of financial statements to include a balance sheet and income statement. Please provide an explanation for any negative financial information disclosed, including any negative equity or income. Now, the price proposal is a template and outlines the pricing that the potential suppliers will offer to the government. This document should not be modified in any way, and please do not leave any sections blank to avoid potentially having your offer rejected. There is a template for products and services and for products, and then another one for services. If you provide both, you will have to provide a template for each. This document is used to verify that you are offering your best favorite price to the government, again, which is called your MFC or most favored customer pricing. Additionally, your MFC's price must be considered highly competitive and determined to be fair and reasonable for it to be accepted by GSA. As for pricing support, there is no template for the pricing support section because what the vendors are expected to do is provide documentation to support their price proposal template of commercial sales. This section provides actual invoices and statements of work for commercial prices. Please note that the information that is provided in the price proposal template should be the same prices that are displayed in the invoices provided for this section, which is pricing support. The invoices should be paid invoices and should not include invoices that are not that are in the process. The commercial price list or market rate sheet section does not provide a template, and is the commercial list of prices must be dated price list that vendors have for the commercial industry. It hopefully is published pricing which is open to the public, and it should also be the same pricing as the price proposal. You must also outline how you plan to compensate employees. Usually the employee handbook should meet that criteria for this clause. Next slide, please. Couple more of the required documents. The technical proposal details information and examples of your company's experience that prove that you can provide the products and services you are offering under the scheduled contract. Your technical proposal must include narratives that you need to draft and submit via e-offer. The letter of supply is a form letter that binds the supplier or the manufacturer. In other words, this is the planned company who will provide the GSA vendor with products if a GSA scheduled contract is awarded. If your company has received any previous scheduled contract offer rejections, you should include copies of your rejection letter received within the last 2 years and submit those in with your offer. And if a contract was previously awarded under the schedules you are applying for, and it was subsequently canceled or allowed to expire due to low sales, a marketing plan detailing the steps you plan to take to generate sales through a new GSA scheduled contract should be included. You must wait 12 months before reapplying to the schedules program if you have a schedule that was previously canceled. Now, I'm going to turn it back over to Lori to close us out.
Okay, thank you so very much. We're on to small business resources. Let's see here, make sure we're on the right slide. Yep, there we go. Okay, thank you, Amanda. Here are recommended small business resources that you can utilize for free, the SBA business programs. And if you're looking to become, again, certified through SBA as a woman-owned small business hub zone, SCV, OSB, or 8A, please visit their website. We also have noted that SBA has an update as of August 1st, 2024. Initial applications for government contracting certifications managed by SBA will pause for this month to implement a planned upgrade across all of SBA certification systems. So we have listed a few changes here, and to see all of the details and updates, please visit the certify.sba.gov/upgrade website that we've provided on the far right. The APEX Accelerators, obviously, you know, they are great resources and offer free services. They are incredibly helpful in the areas of marketing, financial, and contracting. And you can also access a list of the federal prime contractors. I know that was one of the questions on the Q&A chat. So if you're looking for subcontracting opportunities, you will find a list provided by SBA, and you can reach out to other federal agencies, small business offices as well, just to see if they have something on their own. Next slide, please. Here's a list of our small business office counterparts with other federal agencies. Please feel free to reach out to them. They are excellent subject matter experts. They are your small business advocates, and they are here not, you know, for any other reason but to help small businesses, and they are fabulous people. And if you want to find out how you can do business with their agency, please reach out to them directly. We've provided the names and emails here. Next slide, please. We'd just like to thank you for your time. This comes, we're at the end of our portion, and we just want to thank you. And if you want to set up a one-on-one session, please feel free to contact us. You can also find all of our information we talked about on our small business website using our QR code that you see here. And this concludes our portion, and we turn it back over to Amanda. Thank you so very much, everyone.
Fantastic. And thank you so much, Anthony and Lori, for being here. a lot of information to go through, but it's so well presented by you two, and it's so straightforward on the slides. I'm sure that when everybody gets to the recording and the slides here, they'll be able to get everything that they wanted out of this presentation. So we do have a few minutes for some questions, and I know we do have a couple of questions. But I did want to let you guys know about some of our upcoming events. We have a certification overview at the end of this month, and then Santa Clara County will be hosting a Contract Connect event in Santa Clara. And then if you're interested in mentor-protege relationships, we'll have a fantastic federal mentor-protege program overview in September. So I wanted to do that very briefly because I want to get to a couple of these questions. And so the first one comes from Nimesh. He's wondering, well, they are wondering, since the financial year started on, or will start on October 2024, is it too late to get a GSA schedule for 2025?
It is a lengthy process. You're not going to get most likely a multiple award schedule at the start of fiscal year 25, since October 1st is the start of the new fiscal year. It depends if you're in the ITC. There are some quicker ways, but in general, not by the start of fiscal year 25.
But now is a great time to start for the next fiscal year.
Exactly. We can award during fiscal years. We can award during the fiscal year, so that wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. So absolutely, if you think that this is going to be a good fit for your company, now is the time to start. And then we do have, we're coming up on time, so I'll ask one more question as 3 more come in. But we had someone ask if a person who they have done contract work with a company, but the person who oversaw that contract has left and gone to another company, are they still a relevant reference for past performance, or do they have to be still within that company?
Well, I am not 100% sure, but I would say if they can provide, the point of contact, if they're not with that company, obviously they were at one time, and if they are able to provide feedback regarding their performance and so forth, then it should be impactful, and helpful. But whether they have to still be with that company, I'm not sure. I've never been asked that question before, but I'm just kind of working on common sense here. But
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. I don't
Yeah.
know if you agree, Anthony.
Yes, as long as they supervised or are able to vouch for the work that was done at the relevant work that was done at the previous company, that shouldn't be an issue. It just gets tricky when we start trying to track down individuals at other companies or other things. It can get kind of murky, if you will.
Yeah, perfect. And so with that, it is the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up, and I'll actually have our procurement specialist answer those last 2 questions and send them out to everybody. We had a ton of great questions during this session, so I will actually be including the Q&A report with all of the follow-up materials, which includes the recording, as well as the full slide deck. So you will get all of that information and the questions that were asked answered. And I do see everybody in chat. Thank you so much for your positivity, and thank you so much for being here. Again, thank you, Anthony and Lori, for being here. We could not have done with this without you. And before everybody goes, heads off for their day, I do want to make you aware when you exit out of this webinar, you'll be redirected to our feedback survey. And if you do have a brief moment, we would always appreciate your feedback. And this is because we really do these trainings for you. So if we could be doing them better, if you want to see a different topic or maybe a different format, let us know, because there's no way we're going to know if you don't tell us. But in that same vein, if you absolutely loved this webinar and want to see more like this, want to see more of Lori and Anthony, please let us know that as well. We love the positive feedback to know that we are doing something good for you and what you guys want. So please let us know what you thought. And with that, I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a great
Samantha.
rest of your day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.